Hey guys, what's going on? Okay, so this is my third incarnation of the solid state Tesla coil. I originally went from the smaller model. I was working my way up and with the intention of, scaling up further and further, but then I noticed some things were happening in my little work area, so I decided to keep it at the original size and kind of experiment more with that before I scale up, just, to play it safe. So I went back down to the ferrite core, the RF choke for the core, and I made this little thing handheld. This wire around here is just wrapped around. That's just like an extension, so I wanted to connect it to like a ground source. I could, but I learned the hard way that the exposed wire, if your hand is touching that while that's making contact with anything, you can get a nice little burn. It doesn't hurt too much, but it's not, it'll hurt. It doesn't leave a mark though, but it'll kind of hurt. Anyway, so this little guy, same setup. It's running on a 9-volt battery. That's this little guy right there. Alright, so we get pretty good range for something this small. This little guy. And of course, closer we get to the object, so you get a little stronger, a little more light coming out of it. What I found weird, let me just turn this off, was this is the calculator that I just had on my desk and just next to me. It's like the old standard calculator, like a little go-to calculator. And I noticed that this would happen. Gone. So I tried it out with this old monster here. And it's gone. Well, I mean, when I say it's gone, it's not gone. It's just been shut off. It doesn't seem to do any permanent damage. I haven't seen any kind of damage. It still does everything pretty well, Yeah. But it just doesn't seem to like having this thing near it. The other thing I noticed, hold on, let me just put this down, hold on. Sorry, I really should just get a tripod. Alright. Now this is one of those touch lamps. You just kind of touch the base, a little capacitive touch sensor. But I noticed, hold on. It's pretty much, whenever I turn this thing off or on near it, it registers it as touch. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of like a remote for these little touch devices. Now, an idea that I had, I don't know. This is like an aluminum spray bottle. I just cut the top off. I'm thinking about seeing if I can make some sort of like a focusing thing, kind of like what's in a flashlight. See if I can direct it. In my early little handheld attempts, like trying to hold it together at the same time, I noticed that this has to be pretty far back. It can't be like, it seems to narrow it if I bring it too far forward, which is kind of what I'm going for, but it brings the effect down to a minimum. I don't know. This might just be the complete wrong direction to go with it, but it's just an idea that I was having. Something else that I noticed with this little guy. Now, its range, it's a small unit, so it's got a limited range. It's turning that on over there. Hold on. Actually, let me just go ahead and unplug this. Alright. Now, alright, so we know if we touch this to the end of those, we get a pretty good brightness going on. But I noticed that if I just, this is like a piece of shim for sculpting and stuff, and we're working with clay. So it's like a piece of steel, very thin. But I notice if I just touch that, so I'm figuring that's just kind of just expanding the antenna. But I think that's pretty cool because that expands the range of applications for this, for at least for my purposes, what I'm planning on doing with this. So sorry, that's just the shakiness in my hand, I'm assuming. Yeah, so that's where I'm at with this. I really like this little guy. I like this because it helps me to go to move around with this, because that large unit, I was always afraid. I didn't really have it constructed very well, so I was afraid it was going to just kind of snap off of its little base. This is a little firmer, and I have a little kind of bag I put this in for sort of demonstration or just testing outside or different areas. But I like it. It's nifty, it's small, could totally be redesigned so it's even more discreet, smaller. If you want to do some sort of like illusions or like some sort of magic trick, or just really interactive or fun sort of science demonstration to get people interested. But yeah, moving forward, plan is see about basically putting something this size inside of a cylinder, the right setup, the primary coil inside there, on the outside of that secondary, have that running antenna coming out, and kind of make it like a little flashlight that will then illuminate. I don't know. Yeah, never know till you try. So yeah, thanks for watching, and go science.